Hello guys, good evening everyone. Welcome to the session and welcome to the India's most comprehensive preparation platform, the BYJU'S Exam Prep. Yes guys, so this is Rakesh Talreja once again live into the session. Yes guys, so quickly confirm me whether audio, video all is fine for you all. Whether the audio, video, everything is fine so that we can begin up the session. Right guys, yes, very good evening all, keep joining the session. And as you know, we had a concept class yesterday, that is Saturday, where we were talking about the idea behind the convolution, right? Why we need the convolution? Because prior to that class, I discussed the concept of LTI system, and after covering up the concept of linearity, time invariance, that is the LTI system, we came up across the tool-like convolution, why we need, how to find a response due to it, and what all convolution can do, how simple it is it something new, क्या कोई नई चीज आप देखते हैं convolution में, or is it a regular mathematics that you anyways have studied earlier also, isn't it guys? Yes, so that's what yesterday we discussed. What was the idea behind convolution? And as I told you, having studied the idea behind convolution, let us now go across and study discrete time convolution and then continuous time convolution, but not only single class for that. So today on this Sunday we are going to discuss the discrete time calculation. That means, yeah, we know what is convolution, we know how we come up with the convolution, but how to simplify the problems of discrete time convolution, what are the methods of solving it, right? And then next class we will have the question practice dedicated to this topic. Then again next class we will go to continuous time convolution, again question practice. So I'll cover up the mixed variety, all variety of questions indeed for this topic. So let's get started one by one. Right, in case somebody new to my session, this is a brief intro about me. This is your mentor and educator Rakesh. Secured All India rank 9th in the GATE examination and completed my masters from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Have trained more than 50,000 students in my more than 11 years of teaching experience. Yes, I commonly deal with control system, signal and system, digital electronics and EMT in the tech domain, and I deal with the general aptitude and maths in the non-tech domain. All right. Yes guys, so yeah Manoj, it's going on in English only, don't worry, the language is not going to be a problem for you. Arunava, yes, so unfortunately we could not have the mathematics 6 p.m. session there due to some urgent issues, so that we are going to have it tomorrow, right? That we will have it tomorrow, Monday, right? Okay. Chalo. Mean value theorems we were supposed to discuss, that we'll have tomorrow. So yes, the BYJU'S Exam Prep students and users outshined in the GATE 22 examination. All India rank 1, All India rank 2, All India rank 3, multiple under 50, multiple ranks under 100. So brilliant effort by the students and the entire team of BYJU'S Exam Prep, and hope you are also one of the achievers next year. This is what is the schedule that is going on this particular channel. So do not forget to subscribe the channel, stay subscribed and keep attending all the classes. So since you are ECEE, so with respect to ECEE or IN students, it's a signal and system going on, that is on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, as you all know. Other than that, maths, which is common for all branches, is going on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday at the 6 p.m. Calculus is going on in the mathematics. And now let's come to solving our problem. Now let us have a quick review. Key, what finally convolution formula is. So guys, let me tell you what convolution is, why we need, how it was developed, what is the role of LTI system there, and what is the final formulation. We have all done in the last class. We'll start with that formula, and now we'll talk about the methods of solving discrete time convolution, and as I told you, one more class for question practice regarding to it. Okay, chalo. Okay sir, so I have a LTI system. Dekh lete hain. I have a LTI system, right? That is having the impulse response Hn. So as you know, we are talking about discrete time convolution right now. Then we'll go to continuous time also. Okay, we have a LTI system with the impulse response Hn. Now why impulse response is required, that also we spoke yesterday, right? That also we know, that also we spoke. If any case somebody couldn't watch that session, join that session, you can watch it once again, no problem. It is available on the channel. The input applied is xn and the output is named as the yn, right? So we have this hn, which is known as the impulse response, the meaning of which we already know, the response of the system, the output of the system when the input is unit impulse signal. Okay, we apply a particular input xn and we are interested in measuring the output yn. We are interested in measuring the output yn. Sir, what should be the output yn? Sir, what should be the output yn? The output yn is given by the formula x of n convolution h of n. The y of n is basically given by the formula x of n convolution h of n, which is basically given by summation of xk h of n minus k. Summation of xk h of n minus k for all the values of k, that is the k tending from minus infinity to the plus infinity. That is the k tending to minus infinity to the plus infinity. Good evening all. Keep joining the session. Keep also sharing the session. Yes. Right, so this is what all the things: impulse response, convolution, basic formulas, convolution sum, convolution integral. That's what all was discussed in the last class, that is the yesterday. It was all discussed in the last class, that is the yesterday. Now let's move ahead. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, ji. So let me once again write down, as I'm been telling you, y of n, which is x of n convolution h of n, is summation of the xk h of n minus k. Now sir, how to solve the problems based on this? As I told you, today we will talk about the different methods of solving it, and next class we'll have the more and more variety of questions. But to solve it now, we are going to take first of all the two different types of signals. One are the signals which are infinite in length, and another one will be the signals which are finite in length, and for both we will have different approaches. Sir, what different approaches? Let us try to understand. Yeah, this is what we already know. Let us try to understand with a particular question. Okay, so let xn is equal to a power n un, one of the very famous and basic question. Okay, the convolution of two exponents a power n un and hn is equal to b power n un. Now everybody knows what is the un. Okay, we all know what is the un. Like suppose x of n is given to you. What is x of n? A power n un, right? A power n un means a power n, and the value of un is equal to 1. The value of un is equal to 1 for all the values of n which are greater than equal to 0, and if the n is less than 0, the un is also equal to 0. So that's what we already know about the un, unit step signal. Similarly, the hn, which is the impulse response, is given to you as b raised to the power n un, which once again means this is equal to b raised to the power n for n greater than equal to 0, and it is equal to 0 for n is less than 0. For the n is less than 0. Correct, ji? Okay. Okay. Acha ji. Okay. Now let's move forward. Okay, we need to find the output yn. Now let us understand this procedure. Okay, yn, which is the convolution of the impulse, which is the convolution of the input with the impulse response, which is summation of xk h of n minus k for all values of k. Right, now let us place down the value of k. So this becomes summation of a raised to the power k uk. Okay, to find to place the values of k, we also need to see what is the signals xn and hn. So what was xn, guys? Xn is a power n un. So here I have to substitute xk. So a power k uk. Then what is h of n minus k? Sir, h of n is b power n un. So यहाँ पे आ जाएगा b raised to the power n minus k u of n minus k. Correct. b raised to the power n minus k u of n minus k. Now we all know that, chalo limit bhi likh dete, no issues. Right now the limit is k tending to minus infinity to the plus infinity, but we know that the unit step is equal to 1. The unit step is equal to 1 only when k is greater than equal to 0. So suppose if I take negative value of k, the negative value of k minus infinity to 0, so anyways this is going to be 0, and the output is also going to be the 0, na? The output is also going to be 0. So the first condition that is coming, okay, because of this uk is k should be greater than equal to 0. The k should be the greater than equal to 0. k should be greater than equal to 0. Acha. Then u of n minus k. Then we have u of n minus k. Now again u of n minus k, if it becomes 0, then the overall output becomes 0. So we have to ensure that u of n minus k is also equal to 1, and u of n minus k equal to 1 when the n minus k is greater than equal to 0. But we are looking for the limits of k, so let us write down the answer in terms of k. So when you send the k on the other side, it is going to be k less than equal to n greater than k or k less than n. Okay. So eventually what is the limit you have? K should be greater than equal to 0, but k should be less than n. K should be less than n. Okay, k should be less than n. Right, so what we need, k should be greater than equal to 0 and k should be less than equal to n. That means the k should be in the range. That means the k should be in the range 0 to n. The k should be in the range of 0 to n. The k should be in the range of 0 to n. Acha, since the k is from 0 to n, it is very much clear that n should be after 0. It is very much clear that n should be greater than 0. Because k goes from 0 to n, positive की तरफ जाना है, तो this should come after 0. It is very logical. Okay, so placing down this condition, sir, what is the final output? Okay, so final output, what I have simplified is, k was in general going from minus infinity to infinity, but k will be just equal to now 0 to n. K belongs to 0 to n. A raised to the power k into 1. Unit step has been taken as 1 already. So a raised to the power k only. Similarly, b power n minus k will come. All the unit steps are equal to 1 now. A power k, b of b power n minus k. Break this further. So this becomes summation k equal to 0 to n. A raised to the power k, b raised to the power n, b raised to the power minus k. But sir, the summation is with respect to the k. And if the summation is with respect to k, the variable which is n can be taken outside the summation. So ye chala gaya b power n outside, and you are now left with k equal to 0 to n, a power k, b power minus k. B power minus k. So a by b raised to the power k. A by b raised to the power k. Summation k equal to 0 to n, a by b raised to the power k. That is what is going to come. Now open up this summation. Open up this summation. So yn is going to become b raised to the power n. Okay, then 1, because first power 0, anything power 0, 1. Then k barabar 1 rakha, so you get a by b power 1. Then you are going to get the a by b whole square. Then etc up to last power a by b raised to the power n. Right? A by b raised to the power n. No issue, sir. Sir, what should be the final answer? Now this is a GP. What is this expression coming up? Okay. This is what makes a GP. A geometric progression. AR square, etc with n plus 1 terms. So solving up the formula of GP, let us write down the final answer. That is going to come eventually after solving all the terms. That is going to come as b raised to the power n plus 1 minus a raised to the power n plus 1 is divided by b minus a. Okay, this is going to be the answer, but we know that n should be greater than 0. So this is going to be the answer if n is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, right? Or else we can write down one more thing. Final answer now, one important formula, a power n un convolution b power n un. That is what we were convoluting, na? A power n un convolution with the b power n un is given by यहाँ पे मैंने b के फॉर्म में लिखा है, तो same thing I will repeat, is given by b raised to the power n plus 1 minus a raised to the power n plus 1 upon b minus a whole multiplied by un. Now see, why I multiply by un? Why I multiply by un? To give it a simple expression. We know that anyways, if n is greater than equal to 0, un will be 1. So x into 1 will get x. But if n is less than 0, un is 0 and the whole answer will become 0. And that's what I want, na? That's what I want. If you go back to the previous slide, right, this answer should be only valid for n greater than 0, but not for n less than 0. Yeah, Mahesh, maths class will be there tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Tomorrow evening at the 6 p.m. So that is what is the final answer. That is what is the final answer in front of you. Okay. Now some special cases in this. Some very important cases in this. Suppose xn and hn are both equal to a power n un. That means I am taking the case when b is also equal to a. When b is also equal to a. Now if b is equal to a, the numerator will be 0, denominator will be 0. This will become the 0 by 0 form. Right. Now 0 by 0, analog electronics, Manoj. Yeah, we'll plan analog electronics also for gate 23. Right. So if both b and a are equal, so then it becomes a 0 by 0 form, and we know that 0 by 0 hai, so we have to go either by the L-Hospital rule. So let us not go to the L-Hospital rule. What I can do is, let us not go to the L-Hospital rule. Kya karenge yahan pe? Let us go back where we are solving, and here itself let us take the b equal to a. Here itself, let us take the b equal to a. यहीं पे हम stop करेंगे. And if I take the b equal to a here only. So, if I put the b equal to a, then the yn is going to become how much? b की जगह आ गया a. Then you have summation k equal to 0 to लेके n. What is a by b? A by b is 1 and 1 power k. 1 power k is always equal to 1. 1 power anything is equal to 1. So that becomes a power n 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 up to how many times? Up to n plus 1 times. Why? So limit is 0 to n, but I am counting from 0 na. Okay, suppose I count 0, 1, 2, 3. Total 4 numbers na. 0, 1, 2, 3. Total 4 numbers हुए ना ये. So that's what we need to look into. Okay, that's what we need to. Total हो जाएगा n plus 1. So this is equal to a raised to the power n multiplied by the n plus 1. But we know that this answer is valid only for n greater than 0. So let us go back and write down the result there. So when b is equal to a, when b is equal to a power n un, convolution a power n un is going to be n plus 1 whole multiplied by a power n whole multiplied by un. Right. This is also an important formula. This is also an important formula. Sir, one more important formula here. One more important formula here. That is, if I have taken b equal to a. Now, if b equal to a and both are equal to the 1, right? b equal to a and both are equal to 1, right? So, if both are equal to 1, a power n equal to b power n equal to 1 power n, and 1 power n is always equal to 1. Is always equal to 1. Okay. So already we had the formula na. अब आपको क्या करना है? You had the formula a power n un, convolution a power n un. Just now we had that formula. That is given by n plus 1 a power n un. Right. Now, if a is equal to 1, 1 power n is equal to 1. So you have only un convolution un. Another important formula, convolution of step signal with itself. Right. Shivam, it's the formula to solve. Yeah, these are important formulas. I am telling the method also. Right. What formula to be remembered? I am putting it as a box. Method also we should know, so as we are able to solve different varieties of problem. Right. So what is un convolution un, sir? What is the un convolution un? Okay, so un convolution un will become n plus 1 un. A power n is again equal to 1. n plus 1 un. n plus 1 un. एक तो ये फॉर्मूला नोट कर लेते हैं, राइट? एक तो ये फॉर्मूला नोट कर लिया. बट लेट मी टेल यू गाइस, n plus 1 un can also be written as n plus 1 un plus 1. पूछो तो क्यों? Why is it so, sir? Why is it so? Because u of n plus 1 starts at n equal to minus 1, na? u of n plus 1 will start from n plus 1 equal to 0, that is n equal to minus 1. And अगर n equal to minus 1 यहाँ पे place किया तो anyways the answer will be 0. Right, this is going to start from n equal to 0, no problem. This is going to start from n equal to minus 1, but if it is starting from n equal to minus 1, its value is 0. So eventually it is also starting from 0, na? Now, what is this known as? Right, this is known as r of n plus 1. Because what is the unit ramp signal? Right, what is Rn? Guys, what is the definition of Rn? Rn is known as NUN. Right, that is known as the unit ramp. That is what is basically you must be knowing. That is known as the unit ramp signal. Rn is equal to NUN. So n plus 1 un plus 1 is Rn plus 1. So we have the final formula. Step convolution step step convolution step is r of n plus 1. In continuous time, results will be little different. मैं आपको बता दूं. Okay, some of you might be using the wrong formula, directly taking from continuous time. Continuous time में जो आप formula देखोगे ना, that is known as the UT convolution UT, and UT convolution UT is directly RT. There it is not RT plus 1. There it is directly equal to the RT. Okay, so UT convolution UT is RT, but in the discrete time domain, U of n plus 1, U of n, convolution U of n is R of n plus 1, is known as the R of n plus 1. Acha ji, right? So now some key points to discuss, and then we'll take little bit miscellaneous questions also. If any of the xn or hn is shifted by n naught, okay, the output is also shifted by n naught. That means हमने क्या बोला था? हमने बोला है x of n convolution h of n is the output yn, right? So x of n minus n naught, I shift the input, so output is also shifted by n naught. Yeah, suppose I don't shift the input, I shift the impulse response, output is also shifted. इसको और generalize कर दें. If you make it little bit more general ना, input is also shifted, impulse response is also shifted, both are shifted suppose by different amounts, x of n minus n1, convolution h of n minus n2, output will be shifted by n1 n2 both, n1 plus n2, so y of n minus n1 plus n2, y of n minus n1 plus n2, ठीक है जी, y of n minus n1 plus n2. Okay, no issues, right? Okay, the sum of the, now there are some points especially with finite length signals, that also I'm going to discuss separately. Let us write down these properties, right? Property number 2, 3, 4 are with respect to finite length signals especially. Right, the sum of the samples in xn, hn and yn are related as, okay, the summation of yn is equal to summation of all the values of xn multiplied by summation of all the values of hn, right? The starting index of yn is equal to the sum of the starting indexes of hn and xn. We'll talk about this just right now, just have a look into this. The ending index of yn is equal to sum of the ending index of xn and hn. Why and how to use, I will talk about this, don't worry. The length, now again because I am talking about length, it is also related with finite length signal. Finite length signals are related. The length of the output is related to the length of the input and hn, as length of output is length of input plus length of hn minus 1. Lx plus Lh minus 1. Lx plus Lh minus 1. Length of y is Lx plus Lh minus 1. Lx plus Lh minus 1. Convolution of a signal with unit impulse signal replicates the signal. Convolution with unit impulse, okay. Convolution of a signal, why so, इसको explain कर देते हैं. Convolution of a signal with unit impulse signal will replicate the signal. Chalo, let us talk about this first of all. Why is it so? So, as I already told you that suppose there is a LTI system. Suppose there is a LTI system with impulse response Hn and input is now delta n. The input that you apply is equal to delta n. What is the input you apply? The input itself is unit impulse. So what is the output? Okay, the output is input convolution with impulse response. Okay, this is according to the convolution, but logically what should be the output that is expected? Logically, what is the output that should be expected? Boliye, what is the output that should be expected? What is the output that is going to be expected? That's what we need to talk about. What is the output that is going to be expected? So, what was the definition of impulse response? Try to recall. Impulse response is the output of the system when the input is unit impulse. when the input is unit impulse. So input is already unit impulse na, so output should be equal to the impulse response, that is Hn. So now what does this show? What does this show? Delta n convolution Hn is Hn. Delta n convolution Hn is Hn, right? Convolution of Hn with unit impulse replicates the signal Hn. Replicates the signal Hn. That is what I have applied, na? That is what I have applied. Xn convolution delta n is equal to the Xn. Is equal to what? Is equal to the Xn. Is equal to the Xn. Okay, that is what. Okay. Yes, Arun, sure. Acha. Now, some more questions that you should note down from here. Some more questions that you should note down from here. Definitely. Dhyan dena. Some more questions that you should note down. Suppose I write down a question, some common questions. What is u of n minus 1 convolution with u of n plus 5? What should be this answer? What should be this answer? Okay. One more thing. What is u of n plus 5 convolution with the delta n minus 2? Yes, let us try to discuss these two questions. These two very simple questions. These two very simple questions. So we know that u of n convolution, here both the nature are unit steps. Both the nature are unit steps. So un convolution un is r of n plus 1. Un convolution un is r of n plus 1. So what should be u of n minus 1 convolution with u of n plus 5? So apply the time shift property, na, the time invariance property. As I told you once again, if the input and Hn is shifted by some amount, the same effect is seen in the output, right? So what is the output right now? N, it was, jahan pe n hai na, you will first make n minus 1 and then plus 5. Minus 1, this is shifted by minus 1, this is shifted as plus 5, so both will come here and automatically one plus 1 is there. मैं केवल इसको change कर रहा हूँ. n minus 1 plus 5, right? So this is eventually equal to r of n plus 5. You should be able to solve this question. Simple and expected questions in the competitive exam. This is a simple and expected question. What about the second one? Now second one is u convolution delta. Now convolution of any signal with unit impulse will replicate the signal. What we know, if I convolute un or any signal convolute with impulse, you will get back the same signal. So what I will get back here? Un. So what is u of n plus 5? We have the u of n plus 5 convolution with delta n minus 2 should be equal to the how much? Should be equal to the how much? So both the signals are shifted. Same shift will be seen in the output. Combined shift n plus 5 also, n plus 5 and also minus 2, right? So this is equal to u of n plus 3. This is equal to the u of n plus 3. This should be equal to the u of n plus 3. Okay? This should be equal to the u of n plus 3. All right. Chalo. Okay, now. Step response of a system. Let us discuss about this. Okay, there is one more property that I can associate with the system is impulse response of a system is known. What should be the step response? And then we are going to solve every variety of question. We have one more class for question practice also. Now step response, which is the response of a system when the input is unit step. Just like impulse response. Okay, we have the step response, which is the response when the input applies, of course, is the unit step signal. Okay, unit step signal. Acha. Okay. Yeah, we're going to solve the question on this, but what I have done, I'll just tell you. Yn is equal to xn convolution xn, but what is the xn? That is hn, but what is the input? Input is known as the un. That is what I have substituted here. Acha. Then, what is the formula for convolution? Summation hk x of n minus k, right? X की जगह मैंने कर दिया u. I've just taken the commutative property of convolution, right? Whether it is xn convolution hn or hn convolution xn, right? Now we know that unit step will be equal to 1 for n minus k greater than equal to 0, right? And for n minus k greater than equal to 0, what is the range for k? K should be less than equal to n. Now just see, in general the limit of k is minus infinity to infinity, but now it becomes minus infinity to n. Now it becomes how much? Only from minus infinity to n. So the output is equal to the summation minus infinity to n h of k. The output is equal to summation of minus infinity to the n h of k, right? Minus infinity to n h of k. Right. So what is the relation? What is the relation between the step response and the impulse response? I'll write down this one separately. इसको हम लिख लेते हैं. Given the hn, step response, which is Sn, is given by the formula summation k equal to minus infinity to n, summation k equal to minus infinity to n h of k. Okay, summation of the impulse response will give you the step response, and if you want to obtain the impulse response, using the step response, so summation का reverse difference आ जाएगा. It is given by the formula s of n minus s of n minus 1. Okay, these are the formulas relating the impulse response and the step response of a system. Okay, अच्छा जी, right. Okay, now what about this question? The basic question, what I will do here is, first I will start with, okay, they are asking the convolution of 1 by 4 power n un and u of n plus 2. Okay, forget u of n plus 2, start with 1 by 4 raised to the power n un, convolution only un. What should be this much? पहले इतना निकाल लेते हैं. Then I can apply the time shift property. Okay, so we have 1 upon 4 power n un, convolution with the un is equal to how much? A power n un, convolution b power n un is given by b raised to the power n plus 1 minus 1 by 4 minus a raised to the power n plus 1 upon b minus a, whole multiplied by un. That is what is the formula we have just seen. Okay, so 1 by 4 raised to the power n un, convolution with the un should be equal to 1 power anything is 1 minus 1 by 4 raised to the power n plus 1 whole divided by the 3 by 4 को ऊपर ले जाएंगे into un, right? So this should be equal to how much? 3 by 4 goes above, that is equal to 4 by 3, 1 minus 1 by 4 raised to the power n plus 1 whole multiplied by what? Whole multiplied by the un. That is whole multiplied by the un. Acha ji. Okay. Now, okay, this is the answer for 1 by 4 power n un, convolution un. Now I want to take u of n plus 2. To apply the time invariance property. I told you, a power n un, b power n un. That is a very commonly used formula. You can remember that. And now it is just a time invariance property, a time shift property again. So this should be, if any of the input, if any of the signal is shifted as plus 2, the whole output will also be replaced as n equal to n plus 2. So यहाँ पे भी n plus 2 आएगा. So now this is 4 by 3, which is the common, 1 minus 1 by 4 raised to the power n plus 2 plus 1 u of n plus 2, right? N is replaced by n plus 2. Now solving it further, taking 4 by 3 according to the option, 4 by 3 is inside. So multiply 4 by 3, then this becomes, one of the 4 will cancel here. Okay, one of the 4 will cancel here, and you have total. How the options are represented? 4 की power n में है. Okay, 4 की power, where is it gone? Yeah, 4 power n, so 4 power 1 and 1 by, I want to write 4 power n. Okay, one of the power is cancelled, so it becomes 4 square 16, 16 3 is a 48. 16 3 is a 48, right? U of n plus 2. That should be the final answer. That is option number D. As per, we can rearrange the variables or rearrange the numbers as per the options required. Correct answer is option number D. Now guys, this was only a power n un with b power n un. Sir, suppose this is 3 raised to the power u of minus n. One of the signal is reversed in time. One of the signal has been time reversed. Another one is normal un. How to solve such question? This one is important. And this is a homework for you. But sir, why important question for homework? Because idea I have told you, you have to try, and we are going to discuss this in the next class. As Aniki, this is pure homework, but idea I have given you how to solve the convolution, and as I'm telling you, there are many more cases that I have to cover, but some in this class, some with the questions in the next class. So this we are going to discuss it in the next class. We are going to discuss this in the next class. The next class, we all know, will be on Tuesday as per our schedule, TTS Sunday. As per our schedule, TTS Sunday. So we'll discuss this in the next class on the Tuesday at 8 p.m. On the Tuesday at the 8 p.m. Tuesday 8 p.m. Acha ji. Okay. So do note down this homework, and now let's come to the next case. Let us try to understand all cases, different type of cases that you need to study, and then we'll go for mixed variety of questions. ठीक है जी. Okay. So convolution of finite length sequences. If the signals are finite in length, what is the meaning of finite length sequences, guys? What exactly do I mean by finite length sequences? Say for example, I take xn, which is equal to, suppose 1, 2, 5, minus 1 and 4, right? 1 to 5 minus 1 and 4, right? Now where the arrow remains at 2. Arrow can be anywhere. Arrow means what? Arrow represents the origin. If no arrow is mentioned, that means by default the first sample will be the origin. Acha. So why I call it as finite length? Because this signal will have a length. The length of the signal x, that I write it as Lx. The length of the signal I write it as Lx. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has total 5 number of samples. Its length is finite, which is equal to 5. So any signal having the finite length will be discussed here. Okay. Acha sir, what should be the method? Let's take a simple example. What should be the method? Let's break it into a simplest case by taking an example actually, and that is known as the sum by column method. Sir, what is the sum by column method? What is this sum by column method? Let us understand with a question actually. Okay, let us understand this with a question. What is this sum by column method? So you are given two signals, 1, 2, 2, 3 and 2, minus 1, 3, and I need to find the convolution of it. Very simple, right? 1, 2, 2, 3 and 2, minus 1, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3 and 2, minus 1 and 3. Okay, consider these two cases. Consider these two cases so that, okay, so that we can solve it up. Okay. Chalo, no issues. Okay. Now, before I tell you the shortcut, it's a very simple shortcut. But first, h of n, which is 1, 2, 2, 3, the origin at 1. क्या करेंगे इसमें ना? We know that yesterday we learned one thing, that any signal, any discrete time signal can be broken into linear combination of shifted impulses. Right? And that is equal to delta n plus, now this is delta n with the weights, with the coefficients as xk. So first value is 1, next value is 2, and that is the shifted impulse delta n minus 1. Next value is again 2, and that is going to be shifted as delta n minus 2. And next is again 3, and that can be represented as delta n minus 3. Acha. What about the xn? So xn is 2, minus 1, 3. Now let us not break the xn. केवल hn को मैंने break कर दिया, right? But ultimately my objective is to convolute xn and hn. Guys, there is going to be a simple shortcut, but just let us take 2-3 minutes to understand, you know, the detailed concept, and then I give you the shortcut. So now x of n, convolution with what? Convolution with hn, and hn is broken as delta n plus 2 delta n minus 1 plus 2 delta n minus 2 plus 2 delta n minus 2. Where is it gone? Just a second. ओहो, अरे रिवर्स लिख दिया. Sorry, I've written it on the reverse slide. Let's proceed here. Okay, let me write down here only. So we are interested in finding xn convolution with hn, right? And what should be the value for hn? What should be the value for the hn? It is given by delta n plus 2 delta n minus 1 plus 2 delta n minus 2 plus 3 delta n minus 3, right? Now we know that convolution of a signal with unit impulse signal will replicate the signal. So sir, what should be the answer for xn convolution delta n? Is xn. What should be the next answer? It is going to be xn convolution delta n minus 1 is 2xn minus 1, applying the time invariance property also. Okay, then you have 2 xn convolution delta n is again xn, but with the time invariance it is xn minus 2. Similarly यहाँ पे आ गया 3 xn convolution delta n minus 3, x of n minus 3. What I need guys? xn, 2xn minus 1, 2xn minus 2, 3xn minus 3. That is my total output. That is my total output. What is my total output? xn. अच्छा sir, what is xn? What is xn? xn given in the question में 2 minus 1 and 3. Write down that xn 2 minus 1 3. Then what is 2xn minus 1? Next is 2 xn minus 1. Now what is xn minus 1? We all know it is right shifted. I will make it very simple. Just keep on understanding. 1 unit right shifted, but multiplied by 2 also. Multiplied by 2. So multiply this by 2. 2 2s are 4. 2 minus 1 is minus 2. 2 3s are 6. 1 unit right shifted. 1 unit right shifted. Right. Then next, what is next? I have 2xn minus 2. 2xn minus 2. So again multiply xn by 2. 1 more unit right shift. 2 unit right shift. मतलब starting will be from here. तो एक एक करके right shift होगा. Again multiplied by 2. तो 2 2s are 4. 2 into minus 1. 2 into 3. That is the 6. Sir, what is the last? 3xn minus 3. So this times I have to multiply by 3 and I have to right shift the signal by 3 units. Okay, 3 units matlab answer will start from here, multiplied by 3. So 3 2s are 6. 3 into minus 1. 3 into 3. 9. Right. Now what is the final output guys? What is the final output? Final output is the addition of all this. Final output is known as the addition of all this. And of course when you are going to add them, how you are going to add? Right. How you are going to add? So this is what? N equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc, etc, etc. ये n का values लिख दिया. You add for the corresponding values of time. That means you will add by column. What you will do? You will do the sum by column. You will do the sum by column. So this is 2. Minus 1 and 4 makes 3. 3 minus 2, 1, 1 plus 4, 5. 6, 6, 12 minus 2, 10. 6 minus 3, 3. And that is, this part is equal to the 9. This part is equal to the 9. So 2, 3, 5, 10, 3, 9. 2, 3, 5, 10, 3, 9. That's what is the answer. 2, 3, 5, 10, 3, 9. All getting it? Now, what should be the shortcut representation for this? तो देख लेते हैं. What is the shortcut representation of this, sir? What is the shortcut? एकदम simple तरीके से बात कीजिए, sir. So what I have done? See, just read this. This is xn. This is any one of the value. Okay, this is any one of the signal. Then what is this? It is multiplied by 2. Again multiplied by 2. Again multiplied by 3. So what is this? 1, 2, 2, 3. What is this 1, 2, 2, 3? Everybody try to understand what is this 1, 2, 2, 3. It is the values of hn. Nothing. तो एक simple सा काम करेंगे. एक simple सा काम करेंगे. Write down any one of the signal. Suppose 2 minus 1, 3. This is x. Write down the other signal. Write down the other signal vertically. 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay. Write down any one of the signal, because convolution is commutative. Now you can exchange, although that's why I'm telling any one of the signal on top, another one on the side, that is vertically. Now multiply row wise. Well, 1 multiplied by all the number. So 1 into 2, 1 into minus 1, 1 into 3. Next multiply by 2 and keep shifting right. 1 unit right. So 2 2s are 4, 2 into minus 2, 2 3s are 6. Next again multiply by 2. So 2 2s are 4, 2 into minus 2, 2 3s are 6. Next is 3 2s are 6, 3 into minus 1, and that is 3 3s are 9. Okay, answer is 2, 3, and this is again equal to how much? This is the 5, 10, 3, 9. Okay, so what is the final output? So the output is 2, 3, 5, 10, 3, 9. 2, 3, 5, 10, 3, 9. Right. So as I've told you, the first sample is corresponding to n equal to 0. That means the origin is at the first sample only. The origin is at the first sample. Let us tally one thing here, guys. Let us tally one thing. What is the length of the output y? What is the total length of the output? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total length means total number of samples. It is equal to 6. Why it is equal to 6? Because it is equal to L of x, that is 3, L of h minus 1. I told you the formula, na? The length of y is length of x plus length of h minus 1. What should be the length of x? It is 3. Length of h 4. 3 plus 4 7. 7 में से 1 गया. Answer is 6. Answer is the 6. Answer is known as the 6. Yes, guys. So, अच्छा. If this is clear, na, this one will be homework. हम एक simple सा question लेते हैं पहले. Forget this. Let's come back here. Let's take, without shifting the origin, let's take one more question here. Suppose the xn is given to you as 1, 0, 5, and hn is given to you as 2 and minus 1 and 4. Right? What should be the answer? What should be the answer? So, sir, I'll make it very simple. क्या करना है? Write down any one of the signal on the top. Any one. You can exchange also, and the other one on the side, 2 minus 4, y2 minus 1, 4, and now multiply by 2. So this is 2 into 1, 2 into 0, 2 into 5, 10. Multiply by minus 1, but 1 unit right shift. So minus 1 into 1, minus 1 into 0, minus 1 into 5. Now multiply by 4. 4 1s are 4, 4 into 0, 4 5s are 20, and my answer should be 2 minus 1, 14 minus 5 and 2, and last part is, oh sorry, that is not the 2, that is equal to the 20. ये separate नहीं है. Okay, so what is the output? Sir, what is the value of the output? The output here is given as 2 minus 1, 14 minus 5 and 20. Very simple procedure. Very simple procedure. Very simple. How it is? We can solve this question in seconds, and that is what, as I told you, is the method known as the sum by column, which is very, very important and simple method for finite length sequences. For the finite. Now there can be very good questions, and indeed the very good questions means you can expect from this some questions asked in the recent years also. That's what we'll discuss everything within the next class also, right? So these were the two simple cases. Now if I want to give one more case where the origin is not at the first sample, that is at 3. Okay, here it is at 2. Process will be the same, but this is going to be open. थोड़ा सा आप भी तो brain लगाओ. You apply the brain. We'll discuss in the next class. We'll discuss it in the next class. We are going to discuss this in the next class. आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है. The next class, as I've already told you, is at the Tuesday 8 p.m. But yeah, you have to try कि when the origin, okay, is not at the first sample, okay. So that means the starting point of the signal is not n equal to 0. What to do? I'll tell you, I'll give you the hint. The process remains the same. Only what is the origin of the output? This you have to little bit think. I think you can think. थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाइए, because I'm helping you conceptually. You also try to go one step ahead. Try कीजिए. Otherwise, Tuesday I'm there to answer this. I'll describe you this also. So there are two important homeworks given to you. One was the u minus n, 3 power n u minus n, and un convolution. Right? That also you have to try and come up in the next class. Right? That also you have to try and come up in the next class. And for this class, that's it. Once again, let me keep you updated that Once again, let me keep you updated that this is what is the topper story. Yes, All India rank 1, 2, 3. The BYJU'S Exam Prep students outshined in the examination, and we have multiple ranks under 50, multiple ranks under 100. So it's a great pleasure to announce that. Hope you are also one of the toppers next year. Since you're ECEE, I'll tell you the content of your interest. TTSS, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. Signal and System, and mathematics is common for all. So you can watch mathematics at 6 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. That's it for the session. Okay, hope you are enjoying, and if you are enjoying, let's connect once again in the next class, that is Tuesday, and tomorrow is the Monday, so you will have the mathematics class, mean value theorem. Okay, so now Monday, that is the 4th April. Okay, you will have the mean value theorem. Important topic in maths, that is 6 p.m. This one is the maths. Right. So today you will have tomorrow you'll have the one class, and then Tuesday we'll again have the signals class. With this, I, Rakesh Talreja, will sign off. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Stay safe and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.